So she knows she kind of has to go left, a little traverse, right? So kind of thinking about her hips. Right there.
So it's like kind of using your hips as like a pointer. It's like, you know how you see some folks when they set up dynos, they're pumping their legs a lot. You don't have to do that, right? It's one way to look at it is the reason they're doing that is so that way they know which way they're going, right? When they're pumping their legs straight up, it's a straight vertical thing, right? It's straight up. But sometimes this motion right here, it's to generate which direction you're going, right? So that concept right there, you don't have to don't have to exaggerate it so much, but if you get used to the hip movement at first, then you can kind of understand like the simple like spring loading of the legs, right? It's like setting yourself up. When you're ready to commit, you can just leave at that last bit of range, right?
So like a dyno like that with maybe it'll be a little easier if you thought of it in two parts. Right? The first part, kind of building up that energy with that momentum, kind of like drawing a bow, and then and the second part just exploding from it, like exploding, but still from what we had learned with the two other drills, still committing to getting a good stance, good posture, and then executing the grab for the so let's try that again with the same holds. This time we're going to set up on the one below. We're going to see if we could try to find a nice, comfortable swing, just so we can stand up. And let's try right hand off, going for that good ball.
A bit higher feet now, right? Let's say you can choose any feet, but we want to kind of just generate and reach up, right? In this particular case, you're going to start noticing your hips want to drop much further down, and you're going to have to really commit to latching, right? Now, what we'll do is find a hold that you're comfortable doing statically for now, and then what we'll do is basically generate from that, right? And you're going to basically try and catch a hold more dynamic fashion, okay?
Something you want to factor in, because it's overhanging. Your first dyno is gonna your first dyno, when you hit it or not. What you should realize is that you're naturally falling further back away from the wall than expected. So you want to factor that in and try to think, either pull into the wall. Not necessarily. Sometimes when I think of trying to pull into the wall, I think maybe try to headbutt the wall, but because that might be the right trajectory. But because you naturally go back, it doesn't necessarily happen. But which is one of the scary parts of dynos, is on overhangs, because you want to adjust for it, but the adjustment might seem a little heady or freaky. And so for the second one, then try to pull in a little more, commit a little more longer before you attack the hole.
You want to start?
Oh, so you just want to do one side?
We can do this side too. Okay, so like for instance, let's choose these two holes or this hole to start. And we have nice positive feet. You can get your feet up this high if you like. Let's just start with this one. We have that positive orange hole. We're just going to generate and reach up. Randy has a very good point, like headbutting the wall. Like, I kind of use that too, but you want to try and keep your body as close to the wall as possible. It's kind of like getting close to the surface, because you know that your body's going to fall back at the very end, right? Don't worry about that for now. Just try to just aim for the hole. If you fall back, this is cushion landings, right? So just pull in your butt, okay? And also, you can easily reach up and grab this, right? This time we're going to go both at the same time. And one thing that you're going to notice is that you're going to rely a little bit on your core, as well as, again, your lower body to kind of engage that motion. And once you get that hold, you're going to catch it and then sink low into your body again, right? But one thing you got to be careful with this drill, try to keep your feet on as much as possible, okay? It's dynamic. You don't have to cut feet. The steeper the angle, of course, your feet might cut off more, but for the sake of this drill, let's try to keep our feet on, okay? If you fall on your butt, don't worry. I've done it like a million times.
If this hold might be a little too difficult for you, welcome to use these jugs also. These cribs. Right? Let's say these are our options. We're going for this one.
See a loop. You can easily reach up and grab this, right? This time we're gonna go both at the same time. And one thing that you're gonna notice is that you're going to rely a little bit on your core as well as, again, your lower body to kind of engage that motion. And once you get that hold, you're going to catch it and then sink low into your body again, right? One thing you gotta be careful with this drill, try to keep your feet on as much as possible, okay? It's dynamic. You don't have to cut feet. The steeper the angle, of course, your feet might cut off more, but for the sake of this drill, let's try to keep our feet on, okay? If you fall on your butt, don't worry, I've done it like a million times.
If this hold might be a little too difficult for you, to use these jugs also, these cribs. Right? Let's say these are our options. We're going for this one.
See a loop. Yeah, these two. Actually, we'll start right in the middle. Right? You have two good body positions right here. Let's say you need to reach for a hold. You're gonna push, right? You're gonna come back. And something like this is very good and easy to use because it's very much relying on this lower arm or like the trailing arm to do most of the work. What you're really doing is catching that hold, but you're also kind of relying on the shoulders to kind of press back in, right? It's a dynamic movement because, again, if you want to change it up and go further, we can start here, for instance, and aim for the farther one, right? And for me, this is max. I'm not going to go much further than this. But for some folks who have much longer arms, that's easy, right? So we can practice something like that. Other ways that you can change up and make it more dynamic.
It's the same concept also from just like going up dyno. You know, we can pump if we want, but it's really pulling in so that we feel a lot of our weight on our toes, and then going for the move at the correct time, not too early, not too late. So we do that. Let's see if we can do these two green holds into this blue one, or you could even go into this red hold like that. Yeah. Right? And then see if you can drop back in. See if you can go back up. And on the right side too, you still have a very good range. Basically, you're following from here on out. Right? So you have 1, 2, 3 on this side, and then 1, 2, 3 on that side. Right? From the yellow to the big.
No, yellow
Yeah.
to those, and then to the one shot to the next one.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Hey, hi, hey. Yeah, Mike. Sick.
I don't want to do that.
Yellow to the black one though? Yellow to the high black pitches?
From here to the high black?
Maybe. Maybe. I'll give it a shot.
You'll cray.
It's far. It's really far.
It's so far.
It's so far.
You get a
Yeah.
huge enough pump on that one.
100 pumps going to
Just try something.
Yeah,
It is.
come on.
like a half step.
Come on.
Oh, that's